it just like there's so much coming down right now, and it gets pretty heavy, and I feel actually blurred because like my sensation is actually not there, and it's like, oh okay, I'm just seeing the plate 1111 and also 111. Yeah, so I guess that's right. So just not there yet, not there. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not supposed to be on my full function in the world, like in the physical world right now. I might not need to be like full functioning person right now. I actually say that to my boss, and actually it's a little mad, but I understand her. But I also cannot turn away from the reality that I need a rest. And it's not like a big dramatic, like a sad, like a down, but it's just more like a really I need to get away of something. I felt like I need to get away of something to be I don't know, I just felt like I'm dropping from like a really high building, like top of that building, and currently I'm in, like, let's say they had like 50th floor and I'm on like 20 right now, but it still keep going, and I'm not sure when it's gonna hit the basement. One thing that I see, I just felt like everything has pulled me inward. I'm not I don't know if that's like happening to everyone, but it's happening to me, and it seems like it really called my attention right now. So I've been like sleeping late and also waking up late, and I miss some of my routine that I love in the morning, like doing yoga and also having like a singing bowl on my tummy while actually like processing everything. I actually miss that. And you know, the balls, they're calling for my attention, and I just kind of like, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. But I guess that's what I really need to give time to. A lot of like trying and doing, like I'm actually gonna be holding a sound healing session with my friends, and we are kind of finding a new places, because the places that we used to hold a session, they are in an area with like a sky train next to it, and the sound of the train just kind of ruined, I would not say it ruined, but it actually distract them from their meditative states. So we are finding a new one, and in finding there are a lot of conditions, like this place can provide the timing, this place cannot, and some of the tools that we want to borrow. So there's so many things right now that's happening, and there's a lot of conversation that I need to initiate it, so to trigger and to recheck again, but obviously I'm not really in a state to. I'm not really in a state to be in my right mind, like know what to do instead. And you know, people that actually answer me, they have two types. I feel like one that is also impact, and the conscious, they are also a bit slow, because I guess they're in the same timeline and also in the same wavelength and state. maybe I felt like this is not a time where I'm gonna make a decision, and that's really a project that I felt called to do, but it's just not the time just yet. I felt like this, and I felt like I might have missed it if I'm not doing it right now. Would it come again? But then I just got a message from myself and from the spirits that say, like, if you don't feel like doing it, don't force yourself to. Just do it when you're ready to do it. There's no right timing physically, just like the right timing in your mind and in your heart. So I'll just say that I'm not ready to coming up with that right now. If the time is not right, then maybe it's not there. And I'm excited about what else I can do if I'm inspired. So it's actually gonna replace that in a way that I feel more comfortable with it. A lot of things that is happening, and it kind of squeezed me. And the moment that I push this record button, I don't feel like I'm gonna release it, but I feel like it's a new way I can learn to express myself in a way that I felt externally expressive, but also to tell myself that whatever my inner child is thinking in this moment is being seen, being heard, and being embraced in the way that it is supposed to be. Is not the way that it must be. And I don't have to be productive in like productive. I need to be myself. And if in that state of being myself means taking a chill, taking a break, taking care of myself, slept through, choosing me, then that's it. Then there's nothing to be top of that. Like, I'm not allowing other things to be on top of that. Like, I choose me for a reason, and I do. And I felt, what is so heartbreaking for me is to see that I kind of break my promise towards myself. But I also forgive myself in that moment of me not choosing, as we are progressively growing. And I felt like every step that I took, whether I did follow or break any promises, I'm committed to what I do. I'm committed to the decision that I make, and I don't feel regret. I accept it. If it's meant to bring me any low vibration emotion, I accept it. I just stop blaming myself. This is one time that I felt like the blaming to self is no longer relevant to me. Like, okay, I felt like maybe next time the decision can be shifted and more aligned, but I don't blame the one that make a decision anymore, because we are all learning. I'm growing, and a version of me are growing with me. So I thought, and that felt great actually. I felt expansive. It felt like possibility. I felt like potential. I see my potential. So potential. And possibly, the reason that I don't feel inspired is because I left little energy for myself to be in the space of allowing, and then being inspired in the space of allowing them to be. Because I was working and trying to be somewhere that picture, I picture myself to be somewhere. And I was talking to someone, a friend, about spiritual ego, and I noticed that in myself. I also admit that, in a sense, that we all kind of face our ego, and some of the ego is quite like hard to pinpoint because they are really smart too. We are smarter. I am smarter to deal with my ego, but it's kind of have to take a very conscious look through your observation. And yes, I found it. So that what I want to share is that ego sometimes it doesn't need to come off in a very destructive way. It can come off in a way that they want to pursue something in a good way, in a good mind, in a good service level to people. But that also restraining myself from being that, because helping people, yes. Sacrificing myself, yes. But should not that not be me sacrificing myself to help people? No. But that does come off like that sometimes. And then one thing that I also learned, that's me. I have a vision, and I actually want to like establish myself in a way that people know like what I'm doing and stuff. And the other one that I'm doing with my friends that I told earlier that I was looking up for a place to do, actually also as part of a team to work on that. And that's a thing that I just kind of know like what pulls me back on both sides of the stream is that I think I'm not abundant enough to have that information to share. I love sharing, I love learning, I love writing, and I love talking. I love conversation that's very deep in the soul and share. But somehow, like, a friend told me like, you should share that. You feel like sharing some information, you share that in the social platform. And there's a one way I felt reluctant. It's not that I don't have any idea. It's not like that at all. I have plenty of idea to share every day. It depends on my energy, that if I felt inspired to create an artwork for it or not. But what makes the difference? What makes the difference is that I felt reluctant to, and I'm trying to work on a way. It's like I'm trying to try. I'm finding a way to like, what should I do? Should I do a collaboration? Should I do a tag post so people can see at the same time that I'm here, I'm contributing to this? It's like an I. And I felt that it's heavy. And I just see it that it's happening to me right now, because the one time that I felt like, okay, I'm writing a post and I don't even have to think about it. It just flows through me. And I just felt like, why do I have to hold back the sharing of my connection to the source and whatever? I feel like I'm holding myself back because I felt like I might run out of the information to share. So I hold back. Literally, no. It's never. Whatever I'm sharing right now in this recording, it could be so impactful to me on this day. And tomorrow it could be another thing that's coming to me tomorrow. But it's coming every day. And other people I met is also sort of like inspiration to me. Oh. So really, what's really I just felt like possibly that's me. And you know, that's very liberating, because whatever works I'm doing is also benefiting to all. It's not like this is the work that I do and this is like working as a group. There's nothing like working as a group and working as myself. Is actually, I'm asking myself, like, what is my why I'm doing this at the first place? Like, what's the difference in what I'm doing? Like, the reason that I started myself on this journey, what kept inspired me to, you know, I'm just about to cry right now because I just felt like I have missed the why. I'm not blaming myself on this though. Like I told you, I'm done blaming myself. I just see myself like she's a girl and she felt like if she gives to someone, she might not have enough love for herself. And I think that's because that was I learned. That's what I learned throughout, like me learned throughout my journey, that if I give to someone, I would not have enough that to myself. Like, I'm giving love, I'm giving time, I'm giving attention, and there's a girl inside of me. She felt like you should hold that to yourself. Like, you should hold that to yourself. And you know, today when I'm sharing that this came up, I want to just like celebrate her, that she's so brave for coming out, because you know, in her whole life, I'm talking about a version of myself as a whole life of that version, because that period of life, even if it's just a few years or 10 years or 20 years, that's her whole life before she has transformed into another version, which would be another whole life to her. She has been sacrificing a lot, she has been giving a lot, she has been like doing a lot to others, like provide. And provides could be in any form you can imagine. One is herself. And the more she do that, the more she felt taken advantages of. Like, this cannot be right, this cannot be. So yeah, I'm giving love to her. I might need to like have a private conversation with her right now. She's a pretty shy girl, but does she being like brave enough to be here present in this recording is so courageous of her. Not that she did it every day. What I would like to remind you all, I don't know if someday I might publish this recording, but I don't know when. I want to remind you all that whatever you're doing, like whatever that you felt that something is not working, like something is really like blocking the way of your growth, I want to let you all know that the only person that's in your way is always you. But that you is not someone to be blamed for. It's just a very hurtful person, a girl, a boy, or whatever you call it. But a version of you, they don't know what to do. They have no clue. They just like, I feel like a word that is coming up is their whole life is in that state of emotion, of trauma, of pain. That's all they know. So what we all can do, what I can do, what you all can do, is to give love to them, is to see them as who they are, as to feel them, as to allow them, and as to embrace them. For them being themselves in that state. It's not about fighting which ego is blocking you. It's about allowing that ego, to actually exist in that version, whatever version of yourself, to allow them to be. Because ego is not a bad thing. I've heard a person. I will tag her video if I can remember. I'm not sure. She said that everything is in a form of love, because we are all a form of love, and a version of us, or anything you would like to call, the expression of pain or trauma or sadness or anger or whatever you perceive as negative emotion or thinking or whatever that is not like happy and joy and stuff. It's just another form, a reversal of love, or an asking for one. And that kind of struck me. Like, everything, this is love. What's on the other side is just on the other side of love. It's just, you always have the opportunity to see it, let it be there, and also allow them to know that there is another side of it, and let them have the opportunity to flip or reverse the perspective or the glasses that they are wearing on how to see the world. It's not like, okay, the version of myself, her whole life is ruined, isn't a bad thing. It's just like, how can she not feel pain after what she has gone through? No, I'm not taking that pain away. In a sense, like, I'm not going to say like she never felt pain. No, she felt pain, and that's valid. Pain is valid for her. I'm not taking that whole of herself away from her. What I want to tell is that she is allowed to know that on the other side of pain, there is love for her to feel too. So it's just allowing for her to see, for them to be. It's not something forceful. Yeah, that's what I felt like sharing. I never, ever, ever, ever recording myself in anything like this. Never. I just felt like today it is something I felt called to do. So, if you're hearing this recording, it means I have published it. Yeah. And if I do that, it means my little girl allowed me to embrace her for who she is. Yeah. Much love to y'all.